6 riders, 5 machines, 4 days of unknown. We started with one goal and ended with the story we did not see coming.
Alright guys, today we are heading Adelaide. Secure the Batama on the suburban Greater. Over there, I mean, यहाँबाट वाङ्गेटा हिँडियो वाङ्गेटाबाट चाहिँ अर्को बाइक पिकअप गरेर अनि त्यसपछि यात्रा सुरु हुन्छ।
We rolled out of Albury at 6 a.m. in the morning. The air was crisp and the sky was doing everything okay. It started with one of those perfect sunrise and full moon ahead of you that makes you glad you're a rider. But again, the road has its own plans. After riding for about an hour, we stopped at our first fuel station where we're all going to meet together and ride together from here.
Sudah, कस्तो भइरह? कस्तो भइरह? जाडो भयो है? जाडो भयो ठुलै कस्तो भयो? हजुर
बस्दाखेरि कि यो पाइप यस्तरी हुँदो रहेछ
ए
यहाँबाट भेन्टिलेसन गयो कि
ए है Thank you. You too. See ya.
Most people start with a small weekend trip, but we are starting with hundreds of kilometers a day. And a fuel prices at the moment that's make every twist of the throttle a luxury.
Oh, hey, कहाँ गएर बसेको चाहिँ कता यहाँ लुकेर बसेर
This is it, the start of our first ever major motorcycle tour. We met the crew at Glenrowan, just past Wangaratta, just as the sky began to bleed gold. Looking at the 5 bikes lined up, the Multistradas and the BMW and the Triumph, everything felt perfect. We were having fun. Our expectation for the day was at its peak. Looking each other's bike and admiring it, communicating with each other's. We had the sunrise on our faces and 1500 kilometers of road ahead of us. But on a motorbike, the sky doesn't stay golden forever. It was barely an hour and a half in, and some clouds began to show up. Those beautiful clouds turned heavy and grey, and before we knew it, the sky opened up. We were pulled over on the side of the highway, fumbling with rain gear, while trucks rolled past. By the time we limped into the BP at Wallen, we were 3 hours into the trip and had already stopped 3 times.
What is it? Canon.
wet with heavy rain, that coffee and hot breakfast tasted really good like never before. We immediately decided to have a seat and reschedule our plan and started looking for another options.
ठुल्लेको खुट्टा अड्केर यार 11 भइसक्यो यार ठुलाले यहाँ पाइप लाउनु भएको होइन ल अब हेर लड्नु छ अरे अब लड्नु छ अरे लडे ओ विक्रम दाले हेल्प गर्नु खुट्टा अड्केको
Watching the boys struggling to pull on rain pants over wet boots, you have to laugh, otherwise you'd cry. Over lukewarm coffees, we looked at the map. We were behind schedule, wet, and the easy part was already over.
Next destination is Geelong.
अब पुग्नु छ
आज पहिला जस्तो लाने यार
Focus only on the horizon. As the road started to twist and the air turned salty, the clouds finally broke. Suddenly, the land just fell away. And there it was, the Southern Ocean in all its glory. After the rain and the delays, seeing that blue water hit the cliffs, it felt like we'd finally earned the trip. We couldn't just ride past the view like that. We pulled over right there on the edge of the coast, just before the official gateway.
How are you feeling, Zach? Good?
त्यो रोकेर अब हामी खाइसकेको छ उयो फुल होइन
How are you feeling?
यसरी रोक्दै रोक्दै हेर्दै 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 जाउँ है
We needed a second to just breathe it in and grab the cameras. No matter how much you plan, our photo never quite captures the scale of it. But we tried. Looking at the 5 bikes lined up against the backdrop, the morning's struggle felt 1,000 miles away. We spent some time there, taking it all in. The mood had shifted instantly, winding through the coastal cliffs with the ocean spray on one side and the roar of the 5 engines on the other side. The time just disappeared. Riding 2 up with my wife, feeling the V2 lean into those curves, it was unforgettable.
सुरु अर्कै होइन भो नजाम भयो यतै बस्नु भन्नु हो यहीँ क्याम्प हान्दिउँ भन्नु हो कि नसक्नु भयो यार यो कति पनि भन कि यो तरिका यार
मलाई कुरेको हो कि
कहाँ
अनि उसले फोटो खिच्न पाएन भन्छ यो आइकोनिक ठाउँमा त खिच्न पाइन्न होला कि नेक्स्ट टाइम
अघि के भएको त बाटोमा फेरि
कहाँ ए मेरो त चेन सक खस्न लाग्यो म पछाडि होइन कहाँ अब चेन सक खसेर फेरि कता उस हुने हो भनेर मैले दाइलाई हरन चढ्न हानेको केही पनि
ए अँ यार हेर्दा ओ माय गॉड उता हेर्नु उता देखाको त डाँडा हेर्दैमा पक्कै देखेको
Then, the sun started to dip, and the Google map took us into the shadows. To get to our campsite in Simpson, we had to leave asphalt behind. Suddenly, we were deep in the unknown forest, on a slippery, corrugated gravel. My brother Tulsi nearly lost his bike, dancing under him before he caught it. Then there was Jake, trying to navigate a Triumph Speed Twin through the loose dirt. A bike built for the city, now fighting for its life in the bush. It was tense, it was scary, and it was about to get weirder. We finally followed the GPS to our destination, but instead of campsite, we found ourselves into a driveway of a dark, haunted-looking property. It felt like the start of our horror movie. We doubled back, finally finding our spot in Simpson at 7:30 p.m. The sky was fading to black. No fire allowed, no proper water or power supply that couldn't charge a phone. We set up our tents in a hurry, ate what we had, and crawled into our bags.
Another day is going to begin now.
5 a.m. We woke up shivering, but alive. One day down, and already the road had humbled us. We sat there in dark, looking at the map to Adelaide, and we made a call. We were not going to make it all the way. The plan was dead. Our new goal, just get across the South Australia border to Kingston. The adventure had officially changed. This wasn't a holiday anymore. It was a survival mission.
Hello vlog, welcome to my family. सबको थर्स्टी बैग फिलअप गर्यो है
Day 2 started with a miracle. A clear blue sky and a sunrise that made us forget all about the 4 degrees shivers from the night before. After filling up at Simpson, we hit the road towards 12 Apostles. It's the kind of road where you want to stop every 10 minutes just to stare at the horizon. But time was against us.
12 bushel, yeah. Ooh, beautiful.
When we finally walked out to that viewpoint, the scale of it hit us. We'd made it to the edge of the world. And honestly, looking at this group, I realized this trip wouldn't be half as good without the people standing next to me. We have come so far, and I haven't even introduced my team. Let's talk about this motley crew. First, I would like to start with my lovely wife. I'll be honest, I was nervous, and I thought she'd hate the long days and the cold. But she's been my battery pack. While I was stressed about not getting the perfect shots I had planned for 3 months, she was just happy. And her energy is the only reason I was still smiling and I was still going. And there's still Siddhai, my elder brother. He's the oldest here, but don't let that fool you. He's got the heart of a teenager. He was supposed to stay back and keep the pace, but the moment he hears that Multistrada V2 growl, he's gone. He just can't help himself. He's a throttle-hungry teenager in a veteran's body. Then we have Suraj on the BMW 750 GS. He was the most offset when we killed the Adelaide plan. But the man is a machine. Every time the plan shifts, he's got the phone out, rerouting us to a better campsite or a better burger. He's the unofficial travel agent that we didn't even know we needed. And then there's Kisendai. He's on the Multistrada V4 and he has literally everything. If you need a space crew or 5-star camping meal, he's got it. He's the life of the party. Most of the laughing you hear in this video is because of him. He's the extra spice in every conversation. Quiet but deadly is Jake on the Triumph Speed Twin 1200. This guy is the definition of brave. He rode all the way from Newcastle just to join us. And even when we threw him onto slippery gravel on a bike that built for city streets, he never once complained. A true legend. After spending some time in the Trouble Bushels, we head out for breakfast in a town called Port Campbell. Port Campbell is a small town just by the sea. After grabbing our coffee and breakfast, we pushed hard to Kingston. Pulling into the Big Four, just as the sun was setting over the sea after the haunted house of night 1. This was a paradise. Shower, a pub dinner, and a 20-minute walk through the town. In our clunky motor gear, we must have looked like aliens. We slept like royalty that night.
यिनीहरूको आँची अड्क्यो क्या Hi, see you, Chris. Bye.
After having a really good breakfast and a coffee, day 3 started with a date with a celebrity, Larry, the Big Lobster. You can't go to Kingston and not get a photo with the giant red guy. After a massive breakfast, we pointed the bikes towards the Grampians. It was a 4-hour run that had everything: narrow one-way tracks, ostriches on the road, snakes, and some of the windiest roads we've ever seen. But adventure loves a curveball. We arrived at Mackenzie Falls only to find out it closed for construction. All that writing for a closed sign, you have to love.
Alright, here we are in Grampian, Victoria. Grampian, Victoria.
No, if there's a CliffCamp around here, free camp around here, we do today. We book with probably.
Yes, we had a bit of a laugh there, but the frustration didn't stop there. Kisnday and I found a shortcut to a campsite that was so bad that the other guys couldn't make it. We had to ride all the way back out, frustrating. And yes, we finally arrived in our original camp spot, the town called St. Arnaud. It was a nice little town, and our camp spot was just about 8 minutes away from town. It was in the bush, middle of nowhere, just us, bush, and 1,000 piles of kangaroo poo.
Firewood, hopefully it's not for someone like when they're putting this to. Pina, do you have a green tea?
I have green matcha green tea.
Oh, okay. Pina, yeah. I've got 2. Okay. One for Surat?
लाइट बालेर चाहिँ नगर्नु रहेछ जसरी छिर्छ
युजर रहेछ के लाइट बालेर तर फेरि नबाली केही देखिन्न
यसो अलि टाढा राखेर के
अलि
टाढा राखेर गर्नु
Oh my god, what is that? Daile त पुरै ट्राई गर्नु हो त यार Let the whole town know.
We woke up at 7 a.m. and got into town for breakfast. We finally got that perfect sleep we were looking for. We took our time in town, grabbing one last breakfast together and enjoying the quiet. But as soon as we suited up, the sky turned that familiar shade of grey. It felt like the trip was coming full circle. The ride home wasn't the sunny victory lap we imagined. The rain settled in and it didn't let up for hours. From St. Arnold all the way through the heart of Victoria, it was just us, the road, and the constant rhythm of the raindrops. Riding two up in the wet is test of patience. But after everything we'd been through, the 4-degree nights and the slippery forest roads, a bit of rain couldn't touch our spirits. We pulled into Rushworth for one last caffeine hit, standing under the awning of a local cafe, dripping wet and clutching warm coffee. We looked at the bikes. They were filthy, loaded with memories and Australian dust. From Rushworth, it was straight shot back to where it all began.
ल ल ल ल सी यू नेक्स्ट टाइम मिल्छ भने यसो हात सक्स गल्ती हो ए त्यही पो छैन हल्का मात्रै अनि है ल तेरेका गाडीले झगड्यो यार